Now regarding fiscal deficit, okay. I hope that everybody knows the concept of fiscal deficit, but again, be very clear, those who don't know, in short, fiscal deficit is nothing but the government borrowing of that particular year, okay. How much a government borrow in a particular financial year for funding its expenditure, okay. So basically, fiscal deficit is the fresh borrowing the government do or government make in order to adjust this revenue expenditure mismatch, okay. So that you keep in mind. So regarding the fiscal deficit, it says that it reflects the total borrowing requirement of government. Yes, this statement is correct. It is the borrowing requirement of the government. So one is correct. We can eliminate B. It is the difference between revenue receipts plus non-debt capital receipts and the total expenditure. So in order to know the fiscal deficit, what we do is from the total expenditure, we minus revenue receipts and then we minus non-debt capital receipts. So second statement is also correct. This is the definition or this is the formula for fiscal deficit. So we have studied this in the budget. So please revise it, those who are having any doubt. Okay. So second statement is also, if you know that 1 and 2 are correct, so we can eliminate A, we can eliminate C. So your answer will come as D, 1, 2 and 3. Now, higher fiscal deficit means higher interest rate in the economy. Even though we know that this is also very interesting to note down. Okay. Whenever we are having higher fiscal deficit, what does it mean? Higher fiscal deficit means the government is borrowing more. High fiscal deficit means government is borrowing more. Low fiscal deficit means government is borrowing less. So when there is higher fiscal deficit, what will happen is government will borrow more from the market and there will be less amount of money for the private sector. So since the government is taking out a huge money from our domestic market, there will be less money available for the private sector. So shortage of money will result in more demand for money and thereby there will be high interest rate. So whenever there is high fiscal deficit, higher fiscal deficit is related with higher interest rate. So when the government borrows more, it will not be good for the business because it will result in higher interest rate. So third statement is also correct. We already know, but this is an important concept. Please note down.